What do you think people can be doing then to sort of maximize reach, maximize engagement, and make the podcast more successful?
We always start with retention. So retention is the foundation of growth. So if you're trying to grow anything, before you spend any time trying to find the new people, I would work out how we can keep the old people. And so Apple Podcasts gives like average consumption of episodes. So on average over time, you want this to be going up. And how you do that is you listen back to your episodes, train your host, try and get them to remove any filler words, try and find better guests, try and get feedback from listeners. Just continually try to, with every episode, try to make it 1% better. And then if you have the average consumption going up and the content is slightly improving, now you're in a place where you can actually go out and try and find some more listeners. So what we've been doing is we take, for every episode, we're going to create 4 images, square images. And in the image, it's just the guest face, branded thing, branded to podcast, and then a quote from the guest. Ideally, a very valuable, insightful, polarizing quote. We're going to create 4 of these. We're then going to go to a Facebook ad account, and we're going to only target iOS devices on Instagram. And then from there, the targeting can be informed by what you know about your ideal listener. But you narrow that targeting. Let's say for the email open rate example, I think email marketing is a targeting in Facebook. So we target email marketing, hopefully it is. And then we probably narrow that by podcasts. So we get people interested in podcasts. Then we're only targeting iOS devices. And so we're only going to get people on their mobile that like podcasts and ideally like email marketing. And then the ad copy is going to be very simple. It's going to say something along the lines of subscribe to the #1 most downloaded email marketing podcast, or the #1 most downloaded email marketing open rates podcast. And then we're going to do something sneaky with the link. Apple Podcasts do this thing where, and we can link to this below because it's quite hard to describe, but you can produce a link that will, once clicked, will automatically on the iOS device open up Apple Podcasts and then pop up with a little thing that has an RSS feed and a 1 button click to subscribe and become a follower of the show. And so this has been working really well. Admittedly, they have large budgets, but it is working really well. Their show is ranking top 10 in the US in their category, not just by this strategy, but primarily because of this strategy. And so we're just going to run those. And then for every new episode we release, we're going to upload four new images, cut the ones that are not working. And then ideally we get a few that work pretty consistently. And then ideally that's just going to be feeding new followers into Apple Podcasts over time. Apple Podcasts, when they rank shows, they're looking at how many new followers a show has. This is it's not proven, but this is what most people think. They look at new followers the show has in a short period of time. And so if we're continually feeding these new followers into Apple Podcasts, then we're going to rise up in the rankings. Ideally, we're going to get higher than any other email marketing show in the marketing category. It might be hard to break to the top of the marketing category because there's really massive shows, but when we get into the top 50, we might get some extra organic because people are looking for email marketing podcasts, etc. So that's one thing that's working quite well. I know we got quite detailed there.